Okay, so what is the flagship killer?
Touch display.
Of course, excellent camera.
Exceptional performance.
It is all of that at an affordable price point. The OnePlus 12R seems to be like a really good deal. Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, 4500 nits, super bright display, 5500 mAh battery, and even after all of these upgrades, the price is still as last year's OnePlus 11R, starting at 39,999. Now that's music to my ears. However, if you see on their website, OnePlus is saying peak brightness of 4500 nits. But see here on this machine, it is going only to a maximum of 1200 nits. So do these specs hold true when you use it in real life, or is there more to it? Well, this is not a normal unboxing video. We have used the OnePlus 12R for 7 days and things are pretty interesting. But first, there's something fascinating about the whole unboxing experience. So you get the signature red box from OnePlus, this is normal. You get the phone, again normal. And you also get this phone hole seal sticker. It's for that UV coating that you get. Have you guys tried that UV coating on smartphone? Also see here, you get this never settle card, and on the back you have the name of the OnePlus members of the OnePlus community. This is pretty awesome. Shout out to the community. Apart from that, you get a TPU case. Ours is blue. Type A to Type C cable, 100-watt charger, and a SIM ejector tool. So a flagship killer unboxing because, well, you know, flagships don't have a charger.
Mother Nature.
Now, before we get into the meat of the video, or paneer if you're vegetarian, let's talk about the design. Because OnePlus seems to be taking inspiration from Samsung and Apple. Like, look here, this is last year's OnePlus 11R and this is the new OnePlus 12R. They both look and feel identical. And it's not a bad thing either. Because A, the design is still pretty good and modern. Why fix it if it ain't broke, right? And B, keeping the same design makes it easier to spot a OnePlus phone in public. I'm sure you must have seen people using OnePlus in the metro or the bus. Comment below if you go in the metro or bus or if you're human. Other than that, the phone weighs in around 209 grams. Plus you get a glass back and a metal frame. So the phone looks and feels pretty premium in hand. However, one thing to point out is this blue color that the one we have is like a fingerprint magnet. So use the included cover. And there's no IP rating here. So be careful using it around the kitchen or the bathroom. But apart from that, I would say the phone's design is solid. Alright, so you get a 6.78 inch full HD plus 120Hz AMOLED display. Now, I was watching The Batman on Netflix the other day and 90% of the movie is shot during the night. But thankfully, the display has HDR plus Dolby Vision. So the dark scenes looked pretty good here. Brightness, colors and all of it were top notch. Also, I was watching without any headphones. You get stereo speakers and the sound quality is pretty solid. Now, OnePlus also advertises that you get Dolby Atmos, but it only works if you have earphones or TWS connected. Plus, this has curved display with Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection. So that's a premium touch, and it's a big upgrade from last year's Corning Gorilla Glass 5. However, I must mention a few things about the display. Like, see on the OnePlus official website, they say it goes to 4500 nits, and they even advertise it as such. But see, we have this device over here which tells us the exact nits, and I'll play this HDR video on YouTube, and it goes maximum to only around 1200 nits. How is that possible? Isn't this supposed to be 4500 nits? So see here, there are three types of brightness. A, manual brightness, B, high brightness mode, and C, peak brightness. Manual brightness is something which you can adjust increasing the slider and make it full brightness. That is about 600 nits here. Now for peak brightness, let's consider a bike or a car. Peak brightness is like top speed of a car. You can see the top speed on the meter and it can go 220 km/h, but will you ever actually drive it or even test it? Or how do you go there? 220. The main brightness specs to see is high brightness mode. It is the speed at which you will drive the car on a highway. Same here, one pixel of the phone hits 4500 nits, but only for a short period of time. But mostly when you are out in the sun watching movies at home, it stays at around 1600 nits, which is not bad. Under sunlight, icons and all are pretty visible. Then is OnePlus lying to us? Not really, it's just numbers, and like we always say, don't buy some phone based on specs. Check more reviews. And a bonus feature with the display is upgraded battery life. Now I know you will be like, what the hell Pratik you are talking about? How can display give better battery life? So this here is an LTPO 4.0 display, and this is a big upgrade from last year. So see here side by side, OnePlus 11R stays at 60Hz in YouTube, but 120Hz in 12R. Same on the calculator app, OnePlus 12R can come down to 1Hz. So this dynamic shift from 1 to 120Hz depending on what you're doing on the screen reduces battery drain. Also, you're getting a massive 5500 mAh battery, probably the biggest in India at this price point. I know budget phones get it, but this... Like, I was taking calls, watching videos, occasionally playing games and all of that. Phone would easily last me one full day. In fact, I didn't charge it for 2 days. And I'll share a personal anecdote here. So the other day I had only 2% charge left before leaving for work. I plugged it in for 5 minutes and it went to 35%. And this, I believe, is this use case of this super fast 100-watt charging. By the way, it can go 100% in about 20-22 minutes. Now, coming to the camera, this is one area where OnePlus had room for improvement since a long time. So you get a 50 megapixel main camera with OIS, and I would say this year the photos are improved. Like the color, sharpness, especially the skin tone has gotten better this year. And even if you look in portrait mode, background blur, edge detection is good. Plus, I like the fact that the skin tone is properly retained, like there is no artificial boosting or anything. And also you get few extra modes here, like see this long exposure picture of Dinesh? It looks good with all those vehicle trails behind. Plus we took a few shots during the night, and I would say the picture quality is good. Colors, brightness, sharpness and all are nice.
Also, you can do maximum 4K 60 FPS in video, and this is how the video quality is. I would say it's decent.
Other than this, you are getting a 8 megapixel ultra wide angle here, and this is one place where I think OnePlus could have done better. Like the picture from it is fine, but if you zoom in, they look soft. And also you get a 2 megapixel macro here. I mean, let's just not talk about it. I'll leave it at that. Now you get a 16 megapixel selfie camera, and the photos from it are good. But again, you can only record up to 1080p 30 fps. Like, come on OnePlus. It is like serving a good main course, but not a good side dish. Like, come on, give us the best side dish. Give us 4K videos. Now, camera is definitely a step up from last year's OnePlus 11R, which is quite expected. But how well does it perform compared to the competition? That is one thing that we do need to check out. And if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe yet. We have just reached 2 million subscribers, but there are still many people out there who don't subscribe. Please subscribe. Now, coming to the performance side of things, you're getting a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor that was 2023's flagship CPU. Along with that, the base variant comes with 8GB LPDDR5X RAM and 128GB UFS 3.1 storage. The one that we have here has 16GB RAM and 256GB UFS 4 storage. So obviously doing regular tasks like web browsing, watching videos, taking calls, playing casual games like Subway Surfer and all of that, the phone is pretty smooth. And we even ran a few benchmarks. On Antutu it scored more than 15 lakhs, which is a really good score. And we even ran 3D Mark, which tests your GPU to the maximum, and see, it scored pretty good, and we got the stability score of 99%, which is like just awesome with a capital A. Benchmarking aside, I've been playing quite a lot of Call of Duty on this, and the performance here was solid too. Like at very high graphics, I was getting 60 FPS average consistently, and if I lower the graphics, it can even go 120 FPS, which is pretty cool. Plus, I didn't notice any heating or anything. Like the phone did get warm, but nothing major. So from performance standpoint, I would say the OnePlus 12R is very good. And finally, let's talk about software. This comes with Android 14 right out of the box, and OnePlus is promising 4 years of Android update with 5 years of security patches, which is pretty good for this range. Also, this runs on Oxygen OS, which I know is Color OS, but come on guys, stay strong. Let's get over it. The UI is good for most of the part. The animation is very fast and fluid. There's no ads or bloatware, so clean Android experience. And OnePlus has implemented something called Fluid Notch. So see here, if you're voice recording, and if you do this, you get this small bubble, and you can continue recording and using the phone at the same time. However, I did notice a few things with the software, like this Fluid Notch doesn't show all notifications. See, if I get a WhatsApp text, it has no effect here. Now it does show Swiggy updates, but see this, even after the delivery was completed, the notification persisted. I had to restart the phone. So I believe that was a bug. Also, there's this one time where the fingerprint icon overlapped with the notification, which looked kind of weird. Like, these are nothing major issues, but small things that I noticed in my use case, and they should be fixed with a software update. So that was our take on the recently released OnePlus 12R. So is this the new flagship killer? Well, see, the OnePlus 12R starts at 39,999. It is the same price as last year's 11R, no price hike. That's awesome. Also, it has an upgrade over last year's 11R in every manner. Better display, better performance, better battery and everything. That being said, it is still missing out on a few features. There's no IP rating, there's no wireless charging, and camera could have been better. Something other phones like Nothing Phone 2 or Google Pixel 7a at this price offer. Or even the upcoming iQOO Neo 9 Pro will be similarly spec'd to this, but cheaper. But then again, if I have to strongly recommend you a phone at 40,000, for most people, OnePlus 12R is a good choice. On that note, this is Pradeep signing off, and I'll see you in the next video. Pew, pew, pew.